Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but we're going to talk about CrowdStrike. We're going to talk about that Windows IT crash and how it's costing the company quite a bit in stock value, costing the company credibility. They're talking about calling the CEO in to testify to Congress about what the hell happened, because so many IT emergencies occurred the other day when CrowdStrike went down. Now, as I understand it, I don't work with CrowdStrike, but as I understand it, it was a bum patch. It was patched on tons of Windows machines, and it plunged the world into turmoil. We had all kinds of outages, lots of services down, lots of people writing me telling me they couldn't work that day. We had health services down, we had flights down. We're going to talk about that. Lots of flights are being canceled, and they're still canceled. Delta especially is dealing with it. People were telling me that in Japan they were actually rolling their systems back to Windows XP. I can't verify that, but if it's true, that's kind of hilarious, because I know the one company I worked for, we were still running some of our servers on DOS. It was like they were running them on DOS, and I'm pretty sure we had an Amiga down in the basement that did something. They set it up in the 1980s or early 1990s, and it did something, but they never upgraded the equipment. And I know IT did not, at the time, did not want to update to, let's see, this would have been a while ago, so it would have been Windows 8. They didn't want to update to Windows 8, and they kept everything on XP for as long as they possibly could. But XP is a workhorse, man. So let's talk about this. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. No woohoos, wouldn't be appropriate. Lots of chaos in the world. And again, to go back to the original video talking about Windows and this problem that we have of our dependence on technology, like how easy it would be to send the world into chaos. All you have to do is take out the internet, right? And this was an oopsie-doopsie. As I understand it, it was an oopsie-doopsie. There are conspiracy theories it wasn't an oopsie-doopsie, but I'm just going to assume it was an oopsie-doopsie. And yeah, the stock is tumbling. Congress wants to talk to the CEO. We'll talk about that later, but let's talk about all these flights being canceled. So this was this morning. This come from the Star Tribune. We got a New York Times version of it too. We'll go with the Star Tribune, I guess. So yeah, this come from the Star Tribune. Delta scrubs hundreds of flights as the airline's troubles spill into fifth day. 5 days of this. Travel headaches continued Tuesday at MSP, where 69 flights have been canceled and 75 delayed. As of 8:45 this AM, Delta's woes following a technology glitch. We're going to call it a glitch, guys. That knocked its systems offline, stretched into a fifth day on Tuesday, leading to hundreds more flights canceled or delayed, and passengers left wondering whether and when they may get to their destination. In Minneapolis, that's where this is coming from, the airline called off 420 flights. Wow. With the magnitude of the meltdown, things at Delta may not get better for days, says this editor. Thrifty Travel broke Delta's operations, pushed them past the breaking point. The failure, caused by a software upgrade carried out Friday by CrowdStrike, took down Microsoft Windows operating systems worldwide, affecting hospitals, banks, businesses, government services, and airlines. Again, isn't it scary that one patch, one update that wasn't properly vetted, as I understand it, they didn't test it before they sent it out. Just all of this stuff happening at once. I'm just saying, everything else going on in the world, which I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about in this video, but everything else going on, we have this happen too. Isn't it weird? And it's all happening at the same time. Isn't it kind of weird? I think it's kind of weird. But it just shows how dependent on technology we are. And I think we really need to stop it. like the late, great Bob Newhart said, we need to just stop it, right? They said, yeah, you're going to want to book with another flight. This is the New York Times. They're talking about the Delta. They said the company's performance was much worse than other large U.S. air carriers like American and United, which were operating with few cancellations. How's Spirit holding up? Like Spirit's they're probably running their systems on Amigas or DOS. They're probably holding up okay. It appears to stem from decisions it made when the systems first went down. Delta's cancellations on Monday, 815 as of 3 p.m. Eastern, account for nearly 21% of its scheduled departures. Tech outage on Friday hit airlines especially hard. A flawed update from CrowdStrike, whose software is used around the world, forced Delta, Allegiant, American, there it is, Spirit Airlines, and United to ground flights. Delta has been the slowest to restore its operations. American and United had canceled fewer than 50 flights. Aviation experts said that Delta's strategy in the wake of the software outage differed from that of other major U.S. airlines. Rather than leaning more heavily on the delays, the airline canceled flights. So yeah, other airlines just said, hey, we're going to be delayed. They're like, no, we're just canceling. It appears to now be having trouble getting its operations back normal and rebooking passengers who were stranded for 3 days. Airlines like Delta now will have to find open seats on already heavily booked flights to reaccommodate hundreds of thousands of distressed customers. Damn. Yeah, so this isn't good. And their stock is crumbling. And we're going to talk about the government getting involved. This is coming from Fast Company. Stock in free fall. Here's how much the Windows outage will cost CrowdStrike. They said the economic cost could tally into the tens or hundreds of billions of dollars as companies across the spectrum calculate and report financial losses tied to CrowdStrike's outage. That ranges from airlines needing to cancel flights and hospitals rebooking surgeries to car washes losing revenue after they were unable to process credit card payments. Yeah, there are all kinds of weird things happening this week. Some businesses may be able to recoup some of that through insurance claims, hundreds of thousands, which are likely to be filed soon. So that means everybody's premiums are going to go up. But there's an outstanding question. How much of this is going to cost, or how much of it's going to cost CrowdStrike their stock value? The answer isn't clear, but it won't be cheap. So the incident took a significant bite out of their stock price, which was trading at $338 a share on Thursday. On Friday, it went to $294. As of Tuesday morning, it's around $264. That's a decline of 22%. And since the beginning of the month, the market cap has declined by 1/3. It could fall further too. Yeah, people might not trust them anymore. So beyond getting slapped around in the market, CrowdStrike could be looking at fines and penalties from government regulators. We're going to talk about that, given that CrowdStrike's outage could have, on some level, involved breaches or issues related to personal data. It could come under the crosshairs of European regulators. Well, in the U.S., they're talking about bringing the CEO in to testify. What the hell happened? This is like a daily occurrence, isn't it? Like every day they're grilling somebody. Reuters has this. U.S. Congressional panel calls on CrowdStrike CEO to testify. It said the U.S. House of Representatives Homeland Security Committee has sent a letter to CrowdStrike. They want CEO George Kurtz. They want him to testify on last week's global tech outage. Wow. They said, while we appreciate CrowdStrike's response and coordination with stakeholders, we cannot ignore the magnitude of the incident, which some have claimed is the largest IT outage in history. The Congressional panel wrote in its letter to Kurtz dated Monday. Yeah, some government agencies were affected. The letter was reported first by the Washington Post. CrowdStrike is actively in contact with relevant congressional committees. Briefings and other engagement timelines may be disclosed at members' discretion. The letter urges the CEO to schedule a hearing with the subcommittee of the panel, the subcommittee on cybersecurity and infrastructure protection by Wednesday. By Wednesday, we better have an answer. We better have a meeting with you, CrowdStrike CEO. So I can just picture a bunch of boomers sitting around grilling this guy like they don't understand what the hell's actually going on. Be like, couldn't get a plane ticket to Saskatchewan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be like when they grilled TikTok. It was very obvious that they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about here. I don't use CrowdStrike, but I'm just saying, like, they're going to ask him really dumb questions. Why computers break? Why you break the computers that broke the airlines that broke the thing? Why did you break it all? Why you break things? George, why you breaking it? And he'll be like, I don't know, it's just kind of happened. What you do not break it again? How you not break again? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know. It's like idiocracy, man. I'm gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.